And this is a 3-minute chart. This is a 3-minute chart. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. As you can see, bottoms almost parallel. What do you know? 1, 2, 3, drop. And this is a 1-minute chart. This is a 1-minute chart. So back up here, back at 1, 2, and 3. And if you look in between, see 1. Actually, you can look at the bottom right here. 1, 2, and 3, bottoms, squeeze. There's a top. 1, 2, and 3, drop. 1, 2, and 3. Well, 1, 2, and 3, drop. This could be 1, because as you see, you can barely see. It's not official, but it looks 1, 2, 3. Little squeeze, drop. And the tops, ironically, see that point right there. So 1, 2, and 3, drop. Oh, you see down here, the top, 1, 2, and 3. Little bitty drop, squeeze. If you reverse it, here's the bottom, the yellow. The point, 1, 2. That's not below this. This is below it, 3. So 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Okay, so right here, I zoomed in down here, 1-minute chart, it's still a 1-minute chart. As you see up here, it shows what chart it is. 1 minute, okay. So right here, you see a little spike down, 1, another one right here that you can notice, 2. Also notice the white sharp drop, it's just sharp, right? 1, 2, right? 3. Well, no, that's questionable because it's kind of off. So 1, 2, trying to go sideways. 1, 2, this was a spike down, so that's 3. I would have probably bought right here and been down like 15%, 20% right here maybe. I'd have been sweating like, oh man, is it gonna go? And then it takes off. So 1, 2, 3, spike. Ironically, 1, 2, 3. It's the top. Came down. 1 little spike. Not really 2. 2. Well, I guess it can be 3. It is a spike, ain't it? Well, right here and right here. So now it's turning to 4. The trend is changing a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would have probably bought right here. And how long did this take? 6 minutes. So in like 8 minutes, if I bought like daily options for 423 or 422, and I bought back here too early at 3, the potential 3 at 1, 2, 3. When it falls, I'd have been stressing, you know. I'd probably sold some and then spikes up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, little top before it comes back down. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, delete that one. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go to a 5-minute chart. Well, first of all, this is 6/17/21 and it's 12:43 p.m. Here's a 5-minute chart. Okay, 6/17/21. So I'm gonna zoom in. What was the time? I forgot. This is why multiple monitors are good for trading stocks, because the more access you have to data, the faster, the better. So you see, I have 4 monitors. I have 6 monitors, but 4 I use for charts. So anyway, I'm looking at this. So I forgot, so I came back. So 12:48 p.m. As you see the time right here. Okay, so I was right here. That's where it was. So the bigger trend, so you can kind of see it. 1, 2, 3, 5-minute chart. It's a little bit more accurate. Well, I mean, the 1-minute chart, the 1-minute chart is more accurate, but it could trick you. So here's a 5-minute chart. So 1, 2, 3, spike. Okay, so spike. So that's a little bit tricky. I'm gonna go back to 1-minute chart. This is a 5-minute. I'm gonna go back to 1 minute. Just to see more accurately. First of all, what time is this? This is 2 p.m. All right, 2 p.m. Okay, so this is where it's at. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nah, delete that. Here's a 3-minute chart. This is probably my favorite chart, a 3-minute. Okay, so you can see spikes on the trend lines. 1, 2, and 3. Little spike, little scalp came down. 1, 2, and 3. Well, that's questionable right here. This is number 1, 2, and 3. Spike, little intraday squeeze, and a similar pattern. Let me see. So triple top, 1, 2, and 3. That can be triple top. That could be considered a micro triple top. It's not always pretty, but that's, yeah, because this right here is the squeeze top. So it came down. There's a top. This is a top, and this is a top. So triple. It's pretty much a triple top in my book for intraday, micro scalping. So anyway, 1, 2, and 3. Came down. Wonder if I should zoom in. 1, 2, and 3. This is after hours, but anyway, still showing patterns. Just 1, I lost myself. So 1, 2, and 3. During market hours, I'd probably get tricked right here. I'd probably buy right here. Then it'd go up and fall, and I'd probably sell some, unless I'm just down like 10%, 15%, 20%. So anyway, yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Little squeeze, little micro scalp. It's probably like a 10%. 7% profit. Well, how long did it take? This is after hours, so it doesn't really count. It took 44 minutes to probably take like 10 minutes, 15 minutes during market hours. This is kind of 1, 2, and 3. Little bitty spike. I don't even know what to call that. Little bitty uptrend. Came down. 1, 2. Well, really couldn't even consider this. 1, 2. Well, you can count that for a little micro trade, but that's risky because this is too close together 45 and 45. So it needs to be lower. So right here it's lower. So 1, even this is even lower right here. It still shows a pattern though. 1, 2, and 3. You see right here the white spiky, the white whatever. It's kind of pointy. 1, 2, and 3. Little spike. So if you look back at the bigger pattern, it'd be 1, 2, and 3. Well, I guess this would be 3. Little spike, then drop. All I'm saying is 3 and also 4 is very important within the market, within trends. So 3 is pretty common and 4 happens also, especially lately. So let's look over here. Let's say 1. I'd probably count this as 2. Probably buy right here, get tricked. It come up a little bit, come down. Then right here, delete that and delete that. 6, 17, 21, 7 p.m. That was a 3 minute. I'm gonna go to a 5 minute now. Oh, I don't even remember what I said. 3 p.m. Oh, 7 p.m. Memory's trash. 7 p.m. Okay, 7 p.m. right here. I'm gonna zoom out. The pattern 1, 2, 3. Broke resistance a little bit. That pattern's too small. That's really not worth trading. It's not enough price action. Not enough price action, but it still, you know, had effects. As you can see, if you look at the white, the point 1, 2, and 3, it broke resistance. This resistance anyway. Then came down. Okay, so if you look at a bigger chart, this is a 10-minute chart. This is a 10-minute chart. So if you look at the same patterns, well, the same support types, like the low, the drops. Here's a drop, here's a deep drop, and here's a deep drop. What do you know? A spike, a day trade. Bigger chart, longer the trade. 3 hours, 15 minutes, which really you want to sell it before this resistance right here, which would be good to sell right here, as you see. That's like an hour day trade. So you see that 1, it's like a spike down, right? You could tell because the price 1, 2, and 3, they stand out. They stand out from the rest of the trend. And also within the trend, 1, 2, and 3. And that spike right there. And then 3 tops. Then 3 tops. 1, 2, and 3. So where am I getting at? Yeah. So when you zoom out, you can see better. I mean, at least bigger trends. You can see bigger trends. That's why zooming out is better for day trading. Well, I mean, a little bit zooming out, you know, because if I zoom out, I can see the trend better. If I zoom out, see zoomed out a little bit. Now I can see the spike down right here. 1. This is kind of questionable. Let's look back. That's 2. Well, that could be, let me see. Okay, so as you can tell by this red right here, this red thing, which these are custom charts, by the way. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, would have probably got tricked right there. Would have bought some calls right here and cut losses, hopefully. If I look back though, actually a smaller chart. If I look at a 3 minute, okay, so it was right here, 6, 17, 7 p.m. So I'm gonna go to a 3 minute. 7 p.m. My memory is very bad. Pretty tired. Let me see. Gotta make sure. Starts at 6:20. Oh, 7 p.m. pretty much. Okay, so here's 1 minute chart. This is the 1 minute chart. So 7 p.m. right here pretty much. So I'm gonna zoom in just to show how much more accurate the 1 minute chart is. Okay, so it starts here. So 1, 2, and 3. Then it dropped. And while it dropped, let's see. 1, 2, and 3. Off the number 3. This is number 3. Spiked up, dropped a little bit, formed 2 more tops. 1, 2. That's a double top actually. But you could also count this as a 3. 1, 2, and 3. That gets confusing though. So double top drop. So it dropped. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. It corrected a little bit. Well, it tested, came back down for a double bottom. So these been happening a lot lately, double bottoms. So this is how you kind of adjust your strategy, because when you see things that happen, like for instance the double bottom, like earlier at 3, at 1, 2, 3, it was spiking, right? But lately it's been having double bottoms. So gotta adjust the strategy, gotta keep that in mind. So I would have probably bought here. I know it's after hours, I'm just saying based on the trend. Would have probably bought here, you know, would have. That's why I like scalping. I like taking like, I don't know, like 7 to 15% with bigger positions, because I would have still took profit here. Would have probably left a little bit though. Would have left some shares, but anyway. So 1, 2, 3 came up, tested resistance, failed, came back down. Double bottom, higher low, as you see, 416.94, 417.2. So it's higher. So still considered 3. Little spike right here. So if I bought here, I sold here, probably like, let's see, 16.94, 17.95. That probably been like a, I don't know, like 15% profit maybe. 15%, 10%. And if I sold and left a couple shares right here, it'd probably be like negative like 10. And up here, it'd probably be like 20, 25% profit, maybe even 15, back to 15%. It just depends on how long it takes, theta. So even though it's higher, even though this is higher, it can still be the same profits back here. Let's see how long this took. This took like 5 minutes, 11 minutes. Right here, it took 14 minutes. Total 32 minutes. So yeah, it'd probably just be this around the same, like 15 around here if I held my calls that I bought back here. Took most profit here, came back down, negative 10, 15%. I held them up here, back to positive 15%. But if I bought here, if I averaged down, or I sold everything right here and bought right here again, this would probably be like 20, 25%. It just depends on the options. The sooner they expire, the better for scalping. So anyway, I said this was number 3 pretty much because it's above this right here. So still number 3. So came up, And what do you know? You can consider this 3 also. See this 1, 2, the tops 1, 2, and 3. So it came down for support, short squeeze, came down. Questionable if this is 2 or 1. I'm gonna say 1, 2, and 3. Oh, it didn't drop, so that was really number 2. So it's really 1, or actually, yeah, that was a bull trap too, because triple bottom for 1786, right here for 1783, and right here I'd probably put some calls there, maybe a little bit of calls, because I know it's risky just from experience, and then it'd fall horribly. Still a 1 minute chart. This is still a 1 minute chart. So I'm zoomed in 1, 2, and 3. Little easy scalp. Okay, I think I want a bigger chart. Let me check out the 5 minute charts. I think I was at 618. So here it is zoomed in, 5 minute chart. Like I said, when you zoom out, you can see better. You can see the bottoms better. So zoomed out, same chart, 5 minute chart. This is how you make longer day trades. The bigger the chart. So I was looking at 1 minute charts for day trades, pretty much, for scalps, pretty much like to sell within like 5-10 minutes. So now here's a 5 minute chart. So this is, it's better for day trading to look at trends and patterns. So here we go. Let's look. Like I said earlier, this one's pretty obvious. This bottom right here, 1, bottom right here, 2, bottom right here, 3, spike. So now also bottom right here, 1, bottom right here, 2, bottom right here, 3, spike. Okay, so bottom right here, 1, bottom right here, 2, bottom right here. What do you know? Double bottom. So if this was during market hours, a lot of bulls would have probably bought here for a scalp. Hopefully sold and took most profit around the resistance. So like I said, bottom right here, 1, 2, 3, which really this is number 3. It's lower. As you can see, this is lower than that. But a lot of people would have got tricked right here. Like I said, you need to adjust your strategy from the past. Like I showed the double bottoms. So yeah, keep that in mind. Like I said, keep it in mind. You adjust your strategy and the trends. Like you see the trends updates, because they change. Intraday trends change every couple days. Not a whole lot, but they change probably like 20-30%. So anyway, back to 1, 2. This is the real number. This is the real number 3. So 3. What do you know? A squeeze. And if you had it in you, you could have took a big position, not sold, waited, more risk, more reward. So you'd have been rewarded. But like I said, I do like taking most profit. Probably I would have taken most. Personally, I'd probably took most right here before this resistance. It just depends how much I've been looking. It just depends how much I've been studying the charts. Because you cannot trade for, like, for example, you cannot trade for like a whole month, maybe even 2 months. You could come right on day trading, looking at trends, and you can day trade the trends, But if you day trade, like, I don't know, couple weeks straight, couple months straight, you'll be more confident to hold for this right here, because you'll see bigger trends, which right now these are micro intraday trends, little micro trends. So like I said, but you could take like a month or 2 off and come and make profit just by day trading little micro trends, by taking before resistance. Like I said, right here you could take before resistance, as you saw the 1, 2, 3. You could just review the charts a little bit. And anyway, so 1, 2, 3 spike. I could see it's gonna spike. I could add some. I could take some before the resistance. I could take all of it or some of it, most of it. Or if I've been studying, if I've been day trading actively for the past month or 2, I'd be more confident and more accurate. So I could like take maybe half right here, leave the rest for the potential of it squeezing very high, like up here. Let's see, 622.21, 140. And I guarantee you there's a resistance back here. I just didn't mark it. 622.21. So this spike right here. So I would have had a resistance marked back here from somewhere that used to be a support. But yeah, that's how you have your goals, like where to take profit. Okay, just drank some water. Didn't help very much, my voice. Anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, spike. Okay, so if I zoom out, what's this? A 5 minute chart? Yeah, 5 minute chart. I probably lost it just like that. I think it was, I don't even remember. Was it like 18? It was right here, right? Yeah, it was. Okay, so zoom out. So okay, one top. Well, no, that's more of a squeeze top. This right here is more of a squeeze top, so that don't count as a top. It's like this right here. This whole thing right here is like this little bitty. See, that's a squeeze top. It doesn't count. It can count later, but it just depends on the pattern and trend. But right now it don't count. So I'm gonna zoom out. Okay, so this is one top. So for example, if I came, like if a couple days passed and I looked back at the trend, I can see this: 1 top, 2 top, 3 top, oh, triple top. Typically a bearish move, and what do you know? It fell. So 1 top, 2 top, 3 top, bearish move. Questionably 4. This is kind of a squeeze top, but it's like the opposite. It's like a reversal. Sometimes these count though. It just depends how you're feeling on the trend, how it changes. So okay, so let's consider that, right? Let's consider that. So now we see I see 4. 1, 2, 3. This is pretty close. This isn't quite number 4, but I'm gonna consider it 4 because it can be. And what do you know? 423.8 and 82. So yeah, it got above this right here. So it's higher. So it got past that resistance. So I'm gonna consider that 4. So I'm gonna consider that 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm gonna take that into consideration. Moving on. And as you day trade, like for a full day, at least me, I remember patterns, you know. Maybe it's a gift, maybe it's pretty common with people, I don't know, but I remember patterns. Typically after day trading for like at least 4 days straight, 5 days straight, I got it down pretty good for scalping. At least got it down pretty good for scalping for intraday patterns. Okay, so let me zoom out. This is still a 5-minute chart. So 5-minute charts for day trading, like I said, opposed to scalping. I mean, you could scalp with it too, but just once you get used to what you're comfortable with, you'll know. I see a pattern right here. It looks pretty bullish right here, 422.83. And well, I saw it zoomed out. Let me see. Because this is lower, this is a spike down, so 83. Yeah, so it's almost back here, 422.83, and this right here. Let me zoom in, 422.83, 422.69, and this is significantly lower. Like as you see the candle wick is pushing it down, so that's typically a pattern, whether it's typically a good pattern, whether bullish or bearish. I mean, typically it is bullish. That's why, not just because of that, but let's see. It did squeeze right here, but what's this right here? Oh, double bottom. What do you know? So right here is a double bottom. 422.5, 422.51. So a higher low, barely higher low. A double bottom. So that's why I squeezed so hard. Okay, double bottom, squeezed. So this pattern right here that I was talking about earlier. So it's lower, came back down. So people would have got tricked. Bulls would have got tricked right here. A lot of bulls, you know, they'd probably buy here and it got here. They're responsible. They sold most, or at least half. At least, I don't know, I say at least sell like 70% every time and leave a little bit for, you know, a day trade to hold for a couple hours. Maybe this depends on the pattern or trend, but people got tricked here because they saw this right here. They saw this and this was significantly lower, and it spiked right here. Then, oh, what do you know? This looks like, ironically, this looks like a double bottom. This is 422.83. As you see, this looks like a support. So people would buy right here. They'd buy and probably hold for a day trade. So it'd go up. Hopefully it took profit. Then it drops. Then they're down. So anyway, ironically right here, another double bottom. This is 422.5, 422.51. But maybe this time people are like, oh, I'm not gonna fall for it this time, you know? And then they buy puts right here. This is something I do very often, I'm not gonna lie. I can see that pattern, like I'll get tricked, right? I'll get tricked. Like I'll see, like I said, back here, like I'll get tricked. Like I said, what I just showed, a double bottom, it fell down. It was a trick, came down. So right here, I'd see this 422.51 and I'd see this right here and I'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna trick me this time, but I'd still trade it though. Or I'd buy puts. I would think it's going straight down. Or I'd probably hedge it, especially with paper trading. Paper trading is fun. Paper trading is intraday patterns and trends are fun. But so definitely paper trading, I would have hedged it. So anyway, so I'd have been more bearish. It just depends how much I've been trading. If I've been trading for weeks straight or something, for weeks or months straight, I'd have had a better idea of where the longer term target is. But if I just hopped on for a couple days, I'd have been tricked easily. So anyway, I keep babbling on. So double bottom right here. So I'd have probably sold most like right here. Would have bought some puts. I know it's after hours. I'm just saying based on the pattern, all right? Based on the pattern. So would have sold most right here at the resistance, before this resistance right here. Would have bought some puts at the top around here, and would have got, you know, would have got that would have happened. Okay, so anyway, double bottom, pretty powerful. So this right here is a squeeze pattern, pretty much. It's a squeeze pattern, as you see right here, it's squeezed. This support is a squeeze support. As you can see, if you look back, it's right here. The support's right here. That's pretty much like a head and shoulders. Right here and right here, that's a head and shoulders support. So I'd definitely bought calls here. If I bought puts here and they're down and I saw this right here, I'd bought some calls just, you know, to see. And it looks like it would have been successful. Would have bought calls based on the support. 423, what is this? 423.31. Back here, 423.16, I believe. It's 22 to 26, I cannot tell. 18, whatever it is, this is higher, so support. And sometimes it can go a bit lower too. It can go a little bit lower, probably by like 20 cents maybe. But since it's a head and shoulders squeeze support, I mean, not that much lower, maybe like 5 cents lower. So anyway, squeezed, very bullish move. So I'd have got extra clapped if I bought puts here, didn't hedge for calls. I got extra did. All right, so up here, okay, so it looks like the trend's moving pretty fast. The pattern, the trend, whatever you want to call it, is moving faster. So bigger chart. It's a 5 minute. Here's a 10 minute. First of all, what is this? This is 6:23, 8:10 p.m. Zoom out, 6:23. As you see up here, it shows the date, 6:23. So bigger patterns. Oh, let's see. Can this be one? Well, also double bottom in a sense. As you see, you can see the head and shoulders a lot easier. At least see this head and shoulders straight up right here to back here. See? 419.5 and this is 420 something, whatever it is. Head and shoulder support, huge bounce. See that? This is for scalping and day trading, by the way. There's ways to tell if you want to swing trade or not, but this is scalping and day trading. Okay, so head and shoulder support right here. Oh, what do you know? See this low right here? How this is lower and this is slightly above it, and also this is slightly above it. Similar pattern to what I saw earlier, to what I mentioned. What chart was it? Maybe 3-minute chart. I hope I remember where it's at. Okay, yeah, so right here, similar pattern. We zoom out, 6:18, 21, 10, 27. Okay, 6:18, 21, 10, 27. So it's right here. So it's back here, what I showed earlier. That's why I was saying people got tricked. This is why I was saying people could get tricked, because you see this right here, lower, right? Then right here, the bounce right here. Like I was saying earlier, I think this is it. I hope it is. It looks different. Let me try 1-minute chart. A 1-minute chart, 6:18, 10, 27. Okay, so this is a 1-minute chart. You can see it way easier if you zoom in. At least it's kind of messy because it's red, but here's the low, right? So one, actually it's not good. Delete. Not gonna lie, I can't find it. I'm gonna move on. So anyway, similar pattern. Now I can't even remember what the pattern was. Yeah, I don't really remember. Ironically, some symmetry there. As you see, it's going down almost symmetrical. See, from this support to this support to this support, 1, 2, and 3. What do you know? I mentioned earlier. I think I mentioned it. I don't know. But back here, 1, 2, and 3. Also a little bit of symmetry. Very hard squeeze, very hard squeeze. And then the support right here, head and shoulders, higher head and shoulders. I think this is where I got lost earlier. So head and shoulders, go back slightly above this right here. Let me zoom out. It's easier to tell when you zoom out. So head and shoulder support right here from back here, and this is slightly lower, so that's like a squeeze almost. This almost doesn't count. This is just price action pretty much opposed to pattern. That's kind of confusing, but once you become an active trader, you'll understand what I mean. Like these big dips sometimes just happen because it just needs to happen, you know? I guess because institutions or big sellers sell or something, I don't know. Anyway, head and shoulders. Okay, anyway, squeeze. So if you look right here, here's 1. What's questionable? This could be 1, 2, and 3, but like I said earlier, trick, squeeze, squeezed. I think I said earlier right here, and this, I don't know, but 1, 2, 3, trick, double bottom, squeeze. So a lot of people would have bought here, would have got tricked, you know. If they didn't take profit, it'd be falling. They'd probably sell it all, maybe buy some puts or sell their whole position. Then it squeezes, so that they miss out. But really, this is number 3. So 1, 2, 3, bottom, symmetry. Well, almost. Back here is more symmetry, ironically. See that? 1, 2, and 3. This little dip right here. It's like I said, sometimes the dips just happen, you know. Sometimes they happen, the dips. So they throw people off. They throw traders off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, spike. Now if you look at a bigger pattern, if you adjust your eyesight, zoom out. Say you just count this. Say you don't count this, right? 1. So say you don't count this right here. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty much a swing trade move. A 10-minute chart, a bigger chart, 10-minute chart. So 1, 2, and 3. Potential day trade move. It looks like if you bought calls, it'd have been successful. Depends on your strike and your price. But anyway, so 1, 2, and 3. So let's say it starts over. 1. Say you're zoomed out, a couple days past, or a week or something, 2 weeks, whatever. 1, 2, and 3. This is where you buy calls or puts. And if you bought puts, you'd have got super duper. I bought puts here, not gonna lie. I remember, and I lost a decent amount. A decent amount. So like I said, 3 is pretty important. 1, 2, and 3. Pick calls or puts. If you bought calls, you'd have profited. Then if you consider this back here, 1, 2, and 3, calls or puts. If you bought calls, you profited. Now I'm gonna look for a bigger pattern. So I'm looking for bigger dips, which the bigger dips, these stand out to me, like 1, 2, and 3, which like I said, that'd be a move because as you can see, it just stands out because it spikes and drops down right here. You could tell it stands out. It catches my eye. It catches, I guess my eye is kind of trained. I don't know, but this stands out to me, this dip. So 1, this stands out to me. 2, and this stands out to me also. 3, so that, like I said, that'd be a move, calls or puts. And that decision just depends, like I said, more, you can get it just from day trading, like at least short-term expectations, but really even long-term expectations. I mean, a lot of people bought puts here because this was a pretty big resistance for long-term. So what was my point? Oh yeah, this isn't long-term. This trend analysis and I guess lessons, not long-term, just saying. That'll be later. Hopefully I won't be too lazy. Please motivate me, guys, please motivate. Okay, so new trend, right? So this is a pretty big resistance. It came down. It could have dropped very much. It could have dropped like bad. It could could have been a pretty big correction, even a crash. Looks like it didn't. It was bullish. What do you know? What do you know? People are saying it's bearish and it's bullish. That's pretty common too. That's why trading the opposite of the news is a strategy. It's a valid strategy if you know when to do it. Like right here, apparently I didn't, but I knew if I risked more money for a hedge, I would have did it. But I was more bearish just because I've been expecting this resistance for so long, for like ever since March. So I knew it was over here or around 428, 29 or 33, and it got to 34. Anyway, I'm gonna stop babbling. So we're gonna look at this trend right here where it starts. So this is 630, 420. A lot of 420s lately. A lot of 420s. I'm gonna look at a 3 minute. Oh, 630. I'm tripping. Okay, right here. So now looking for intraday scalping day trade patterns. Zoomed out a little bit just to see if that helps, which it does. Okay, I just confused myself. 620 or 630? Yeah, 630, I guess. Okay, so if we let a couple days pass or just look back to the past, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3. That's how you know it's gonna be pretty decent, a safer move, at least to hedge some positions at 3, sometimes 4. As you can see, it's pretty symmetrical looking. Well, just about 1, 2, and 3. So I'm sure there's a lot of volume here. Let's see, volume right here. You see it goes from 250, 160, 70, 70s, 99, 80, 100, 242, 300. You see people are buying near this right here because they know 110 to 29. So it picked up around here. It picked up, as you see, it's 300 right here. I don't like volume. I don't like looking at volume, but I was just using it to show it picked up, which it did. Anyway, I do not trade volume. I trade patterns. So 1, 2, and 3. This is where you hedge whether you're bullish or bearish. Hopefully you're bullish because that would have won a lot. Well, let me stay. So it looks like 4 may be starting. So this is a squeezed right here. This is pretty much a head and shoulders from the past. If you look at the past, need a bigger chart. Okay, 630, 642. Okay, so it looks like it was not a head and shoulders. Instead, it's a squeeze pattern. It was a squeeze support based off this support back here. That was the last all-time highs, 428.56. If I zoom out right here, so that's the all-time high support. So that's helping indicate it's gonna be a new trend. That is helping indicate it'll be a new trend. So it bounced off that, came back down to trick, to scare people. That's what the market does. It plays with your mind. If you got puts, you're happy. Oh yeah, it's gonna drop. Yeah. If you got calls, oh man, I probably made the wrong decision. You know, that's what it tricks you. It plays with your mind. So anyway, so pretty beautiful spike right here. I mean, you know, it's after hours. I'm just saying, I'm not considering whether this is after hours or not. I'm just considering patterns, just saying. So that can help indicate this beautiful spike right here. Let's see the irony back here. Okay, bounce off this support. How about what's this right here? That's a squeeze pattern support, head and shoulders support. So the reason why it squeezed so hard, the way you know if it's going to squeeze, if it's going to have a huge downtrend or uptrend, is basically from long-term analysis to have like a goal of a long-term target. So like I said, my long-term target was like pretty much around 428 to start buying some puts, because I knew it could drop a lot. Ever since March I've been planning it, so I put more than I should have. But anyway, so around when you do long-term analysis, that's when basically your target, that's going to be a big move, you know? It's going to either be bearish or bullish. Luckily I had some calls, but I lost more on puts, not gonna lie. So yeah, this is a squeeze pattern right here. That support plus right there. And this whole thing's a squeeze pattern. You see, it's lower, it's a bit lower, and it has 2 supports right here. I think I called this earlier, like, you know, like, I don't know, on this video right here, head and shoulders. There's the head squeeze. I think it was something similar up here. Yeah, right here. Well, not quite. Anyway, it's a squeeze pattern. Let me try to explain it better. So 1, 2, and 3 tops. What do you know? So it came down for support. Typically if it squeezes, it's going to squeeze on a higher support. Let me zoom in. So 1, 2, and 3, like I said, in a squeeze on a higher support, basically head and shoulders again. See right here and right here, that is a head and shoulder support. So 1, 2, and 3, head and shoulder support and squeeze, very big squeeze. So pretty much this is where you would add puts and calls to hedge. Well, you'd buy puts around here. Probably if you didn't buy the very top, it'd probably be like right here. You'd buy like after, here's a double. Let me zoom in more. And so as you can tell, back here it's still, you know, that still is support. That's why it's still in. That's why I marked it within the thing, within the whatever this is. 53. Let me go ahead and mark it. Oh crap. Okay. 427.53. Okay, so 427.53, I put a farther date just to make sure I have a straight line. Because if you put the same day, if you put like 629 and 629 same day, I mean, after a few days, the line will be crooked. The line will not be accurate and it could really throw you off. Hey, what do you know? Another squeeze support 1, 2, and 3, and it came down testing support, testing resistance, came down for a little bit, testing support, squeeze. And this is how you can learn bigger trends by smaller trends, by looking at small charts. So ironically, this might actually be where we're at right now. I'm gonna mark this. Okay, so marked it. I'm gonna change the color. I don't know, don't want nothing too bright. That's okay. So now let me analyze tiny little tiny trends. Now let's see, it's very similar. Oh, this back here might be part of it also. Yeah, it looks like it is. Judging by, okay, let me zoom in. I'll look at this right here. 1, 2, 3. Questionably 4. Yeah, so it's like 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna fix this. Save as default. I'm gonna delete it so I can redo it. Now, another Head and Shoulders. Well, yeah, it's backwards though. You see, sometimes Head and Shoulders, it gets lower. Like if you look back here, 427.11, or is this 0.11? Yeah, 427.11. Right here, it got to 427. So it got lower, but it's still squeezed. It's still squeezed. Well, it's still bullish, not necessarily squeezed, but it was still bullish. Went back up, higher support, squeezed. Double bottom, like I said earlier. So I'm sure a lot of bulls bought here. Let me see the volume. 2,900. Well, it was after hours. So it's after hours, not very much volume, but 2,900, 20,000. Yeah, no shit. So it's more like this is a support right here, which on a smaller chart, it'd be easier to tell based on the trend. So this is 10-minute chart, 6:28 to 20 p.m. I'm going to a 3-minute, 6:28. Yeah, you see, typically I don't like marking the big candle wicks. Like you see how it's a big candle wick? Well, that's not too bad. Zoomed out looks worse. That's a hammer right there, looking like a hammer. So anyway, I'm gonna mark it. So let me zoom out to make sure it's really right here. Something 0.13. Yeah, 427.13. I can barely see that. 427. You can see it better up here. 427.13. And by the way, you don't have to have the extension on. Like, let me turn it off. Actually, okay, fine. See, it was extended. Now it's not. So I'm gonna turn it back on just because I'm doing something that requires them, that I'm doing some experiments. Back on. What do you know? Like I said, sometimes it dips. Sometimes it dips more than you expect. It happened there, right here, still under it, but it got over the resistance, got over the next resistance, came down, as you see in between 1, 2, and 3. Let me zoom in. See, I'm gonna consider this, well, look better zoomed out. Sometimes it's easier to tell. Sometimes it's easier to tell while you're zoomed out. But anyway, it looks like this is 1 right here, then 2, then 3, opposed up here. So 1, 2, and 3. Squeeze. Okay, in this case, marking the very bottom would have been beneficial. 427.10, 427.1. So possibly the trend is changing to where marking the very bottom can be beneficial. A lot of times marking the very bottom of the wick, it's not very effective. I typically like marking within the trend. I'll show. Like you see right here, the white, and plus this right here, it's red. I like marking the red. So the red candle, you can barely see it, but it's 427.13. The red candle so I marked this initially. I like doing this mostly. It got lower here, but I typically mark this anyway because it's the red candle. It's more important to me. But in this case, it seemed more effective. I guess because it's a very bullish market and there's tricks in it, you know? There's tricks. A little bit of tricks. So, you know, if it got a bit lower right here, oh, it's gonna drop. Then some people, I'd probably sell some calls maybe, but not really, because typically it gets like around $1 below these little micro, like 70 cents, around 70 cents to 60 cents, sometimes $1 below the little micro support. If I was confident, anyway, I'm gonna just move on. Okay, so look at here. Here's 1, 2, Head and Shoulders. What do you know? Well, not really. This is a support off the Head and Shoulders, but this can be a Head and Shoulders. Just depends. If you consider back here, right here. Okay, let me do it again. 1, 2. This is a big dip. I'm not gonna count that. Not gonna count that either because big dip. It dipped too hard. 3. Big wick right on support. Well, right under support the wick is, but the candle is on support, and very big squeeze. So like I was saying earlier, I wasn't close to Head and Shoulders. It can be based off, it's a similar pattern to the 2 others we saw earlier. As you see, this is 427, this is 427.11, and this is 427.05. So like I said, I don't like considering these big wicks, so really it's 427.1. Hey, what do you know right here? 427.11, 427.1. Because the wicks, the big wicks, they're just there and they just happen. Like it's just like right here, it went under support, but it doesn't mean it's bearish. Same thing right here, it went under support, big wick. It was a big wick under support. It doesn't mean it's bearish. It's price action pretty much. I guess it's called price action. I don't know what it is. It's just market psychology. So I would consider this right here right on the candle right on support though. I probably would mark that. I'd mark them both. I'd mark this and that, or I'd do in between. I'd mark this and I'm gonna do it right now. 427.05. Okay, so I'm marking 427.05 right here. Oh yeah, the date, I forgot. Sometimes I forget about the date. I just put 631 just to make sure. Okay, so I supposed to mark this and also this, which this is pretty much already marked based on this support from where I just marked earlier. So I'm not gonna touch it. Oh, you could do so much with 3 minute chart. I love it. Love the 3 minute chart, at least for day trading and scalping. Oh, for scalping, really. And taking day trade position accuracy. Okay, I zoomed out and now I'm kind of lost. That happens a lot, at least to me. Not that smart, just dedicated. So I marked these obviously because there's 3 of them. This was confusing me right here, but that's a head and shoulders. Really, that's just the main support. Okay, anyway. So back to, oh yeah, I remember seeing this right here. Oh, ADHD. Darn this ADHD. All right, I want this to go away. See, it went away. All right, so if they get stuck there, just do what I did right there. So this pattern right here, I'm gonna look at this. I'm interested in this pattern. 1, well, let me zoom in. I'm gonna consider this 1. Well, not sure if that's 2 for sure. Wait, okay, my bad. This is 1 for sure. This is a pattern within a pattern, ironically. It's a little bitty thing, a pattern within a pattern. Kind of confusing me. If I consider this whole thing, okay, so this would be 1, 2, 3, little micro pattern, potentially 4, drop. What do you know? That's more of a test resistance or test to squeeze or whatever. That's more of a test, but it could still count, like I said. So 1, 2, 3, 4. As you see, the trend is changing a little bit. Back to 4. I mentioned it earlier from, I think it was, I just mentioned it. I saw 4 earlier, which that was farther in the chart, but anyway, we're back here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, drop. Now, if you look at the bigger tops, if I consider this number 1, this isn't number 2. I can't consider that. So 1, I'm just trying to decide. Let me see. I'm sorry. Since this is in between 1, 2, 3, so I'm gonna consider that number 2. So 1, 2, because as you see, the prices and plus the little pattern 1, 2 right here, and 3. So then it had a little squeeze. So there's that a top. It's a top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna just call it 4, questionably 3, but it looks like a 4 to me. So after 4, it spiked up. So if I took a position, let me see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'd have still bought here anyway. Okay, because this is a squeeze pattern. Yeah, I'm tripping. Okay, so 4. So basically, well, this first of all, after 3, so this is 3, right? It came down, it went back up to test resistance, it passed it. So that's a good sign. So right there is a sign that you can buy the support, which is it's the faster support, it's the higher support. So right here, and ironically, it's not ironic actually, it's head and shoulders. In a sense, not really, it's more of a support from back here. So let me see, got to right here. Yeah, it's still above right here, so it's still higher lows, still above higher lows. And right there is a squeeze pattern. I wish I could mark it, but I already marked this right here. That's kind of ugly. This is a squeeze pattern. As you can see, it's a flag. It is a flag. Okay, just look at the green. Oh, let me zoom out. Yeah, see that pattern? That is a squeeze pattern, similar to what I showed earlier, which I hate to zoom out and look for it. The bigger version. Here's a big version. Not completely symmetrical, but price action is, I guarantee you, it's accurate. Well, I'm not gonna guarantee, but obviously it is. So this thing, okay, let's do the science. 1, 2, well, hold on. To do that, I need a smaller chart. So 1 minute chart. Oh crap. Let me just zoom out. I don't have to get the date because I already marked it. As you can see, it's green, so I don't gotta worry about getting the date. So right here, okay, I could compare this. Okay, so the green, so it's more of a double top. So the pattern goes all the way to here. Dang, I need to redo this. Okay, so what is this? 6:29, 8:09 p.m. Okay, redid it. So squeeze pattern, double top right here, essentially. Pass a little bit. It's a little bit higher, It's because it's bullish. That can also be an indicator that it's bullish. Without using indicators, you could just watch the trends and patterns and price action, and it got a bit higher. So that can tell you, oh, it's gonna go even higher when it drops because it broke this resistance right here. So it got higher, came back down, right on support too, right on support, squeeze. So the green squeeze pattern, right? 1 minute chart. Let me compare it to, I think, what was I doing? 3 minute chart. Let me do a 10 minute, or yeah, 10 minute. Looks a bit different. It's because it's ridiculous squeeze. Like I said, sometimes they don't count. It's like these huge spikes, I don't really count them when I mark my support and resistance levels. Well, I do, but I don't know. They do count, but sometimes they don't. So just saying, it's like back here. I didn't mark this, but it could have counted. It just makes things confusing. Anyway, I'm not gonna count this big squeeze. I'm gonna just look at, so similar, pretty similar. It's like a double top almost, just like, okay, 428.56 got to 428.91. Really right here, 428.78 came down. Little bitty flag, little bitty. I guarantee if I went to 1 minute chart, you could see the squeeze pattern right here. What is this? 4:30 p.m., 6:30. Okay, 4:30 p.m. Okay, anyway, similar pattern, right? This came a bit lower. Sometimes it squeezes right here. Sometimes it goes lower. As long as it's higher lows off the very top or off the very bottom, it's all right. I cannot talk. I don't remember the time. What did it say? 4:30. No, it's not it. Is it this right here? Oh, what do you know? It's definitely bullish. 1, 2, 3, 4. So back to fours. You could consider this right here, but maybe I will. 5. Even these, this is a very strange pattern. This is a very strange pattern. It is after hours, I believe. Or no, it's right. Yeah, it is. Right at market close. I'm gonna mark this 428.06 trend line. Okay, 428.06. Marked it. So that is definitely a squeeze pattern. 4 bottoms. That is, whenever that happens, I mean, that's pretty bullish move, and it's pretty obvious it is. A triple bottom, also a lot of times a double bottom, and 4 bottoms is more rare. 4 is a lot more rare, but that just shows why this was so bullish. Yeah, after the 4 bottoms around here, what was the resistance up here? Yup, right around 428 also. Around 428, my long-term put target that I lost money on. Or no, yeah, it was right here. I'm a little bit confused, not gonna lie. Also back here, so obviously the pattern, the trend is changing. A lot of these very close triple bottoms, really almost 4 bottoms, sideways though, they're sideways. That looks like a squeeze pattern. I'd have probably got tricked if I was day trading. If I was day trading this, I'd have got tricked based off this pattern right here. 0.8, 0.8, 0.81. It's higher. 0.82 right here. Looks like it'd be squeezing. I'd have probably bought right here and also right here. I'd have bought some calls. And if I didn't take profit, I'd have been down like probably 20-30%. Okay, so I'm trying to get back on track here. Big random spike. So that's probably what's going to happen very soon. This right here is gonna probably be a big random spike. If this isn't the big random spike right here, if this isn't it, there will probably be on this support up here, it'll probably be huge, either a spike or a huge drop, which, you know, I got my puts. I'll probably also some 436 calls. If it passes 437, I mean, it's probably not coming down for a while, at least for a big correction to like 395, 380. If it passes 430, I say 436, but also 437. One of those, it won't come down for correction, but hey, the market can trick me. It happens pretty often, especially if I slack and don't day trade for like a week or something. Okay, so getting back to it. So if you consider the trends, so this makes more sense now. Oh my gosh, please go away. Okay, so this makes more sense now. This right here, because if you look at the tops, 1, 2, and 3, then it came down for support, squeezed. So this random big wick spike makes sense now when I look back. Okay, so 1, 2, also, yeah, it does make sense right here also. Well, more right here, 1, 2, 3, drop. So 1, 2, 3, drop, then it spiked. And also, okay, and also this right here, if you zoom out and look, 1, 2, 3, top, drop down for support, squeezed. And you could also look at it sideways too. Like once the patterns form, you could see one of these. I'm gonna say this right here, wait. So right here also, 1, 2, 3 tops. I think I just said this, I'm not sure. Squeezed. This might be where we're at in the bigger pattern. We could be like right here pretty much, and it's about to squeeze, or it's gonna drop very much. Instead of squeezing up like that, instead of going up, it's gonna go down and then squeeze, which I've been making videos on that, but by the time I release this, it'll probably be too late. I've been making videos, but yeah, probably too late. So bigger pattern, like I said, like you see right there, right here, it could be where we're at around here. It could be right here or right here, maybe even right here, right before a squeeze, a huge squeeze. But it can also be a huge drop, at least not necessarily huge, but like very fast, like very profitable. Like you can buy options at like 3 cents and make like 2,000% profit, 2,000% to possibly 5,000% if you buy same day expiration options at like 2, 3, 4, typically under 8 cents. Yeah, you could turn really around like under 5 cents. That's how you get like 1,000% profit in a day. And if you buy around like 3 cents, even 2 cents, that's like 5,000%, 3,000%. Just depends where you buy, where you sell. And theta burn. Okay, what was I doing? Okay, so I mentioned this 1, 2, and 3 squeeze. This could be where we're at anyway. If I ignore this spike, because these get, at least for now, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3 came down for support, another short squeeze. So I'm gonna ignore this for now, just considering, I don't know, like what if you didn't see this? What if it's right now July 1st? You wouldn't see this, right? So if it's July 1st, actually, so say we're right here, right? Say I can't see the rest of the chart right there. I'd consider this right here. Well, 1, 2, nah, that's more of a squeeze. 1, 2, 3, yeah, spike. 1, this is almost 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, 4 could be, you know, there's a lot of 4s back there, a lot of 4 supports, a lot of 4 resistance levels, at least a couple. So just by looking at this, if this is 1 and this is 2, I'd say if it looked just like this, the chart, I'd say I have to come down. So 1, 2, probably come down to like around here. or right here. So I'm probably wrong. Yeah, I would have been wrong. I'd have been wrong. Instead of squeeze, because the market's so freaking bullish. It would have came down, but instead of squeezed. It would have came down for support, but this right here, whatever this is, that was a hard squeeze. It came down very fast, but it got caught like right away and squeezed. Now if I zoom out, 1, 2, random spike, huge random spike, just like back here, just like this, similar. Well, this had like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and spike. Okay, so 1, 2, this can be 3, came down because it's pretty parallel, you know, it's not that far off. This right here is not that far. These two right here and right here, this isn't that far down, so that can be considered. So 1, 2, and 3 came down for support, a squeeze. Now those are just the bigger trends. I mean, it'd be a lot easier with a bigger chart of like a 5 minute, 10 minute, but I like looking through the 3 minute most of the time, just because that's just what I'm used to. And plus you can see things you'd miss. I could see things I would miss on a 5, 10 minute chart. On a 5 or 10 minute chart, with a 3 minute chart, I'll see things that I can't see on a 5 or 10 minute chart with a 3 minute chart. Can I talk? My voice. Okay, so say I'm doing intraday scalping. I zoomed in. Let me zoom out a little bit. Well, I gotta zoom in. From up top, this is the top, right? I still like 3 minute chart better, but I'll use this. So this stands out, well, as 1. This slid off way too fast, so this whole thing I'm gonna consider 1. And look, 1, 2, 3, little spike drop. So yeah, 1, well, just, okay, 1, 2, 3, little spike, double bottom, well, off support. That's why I like the 3 minute chart, because this gets confusing. You see, 1 minute chart's more for accuracy, like very accurate. This is a bit easier to read. Okay, 3 minute chart. Let me even show the 5 minute chart. Let me show them all. Okay, so here's 1 minute chart that shows the trends. 1 minute chart right here. Oops. Here's a 3 minute chart. Same trend, same pattern. As you can see, more detail in the 1 minute chart to less detail, but in a sense, easier to read. Here's a 5 minute chart. Less detail on dips, but easier to read in a sense, for day trading at least. And a 10 minute chart, which that's a pretty obvious squeeze pattern. Like I was showing earlier, came down, very bottom, support, resistance failed, came down past this resistance right here. Didn't quite pass this yet, but it passed this. It changes, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, that looks like a squeeze pattern. So this passed this resistance, came down for support. This would have threw a lot of people off, I'm sure. A lot of people sold here because this went below this right here. Well, actually, I'm sure a lot of people panic sold, but really it's still bullish because it's above this support right here. If it came below this, then that'd have been not a squeeze pattern, but it stayed above this right here, stayed above this right here. So anyway, as you can see, more details. So 10 minute chart, here's a 1 minute chart. See how much more details that it is right there. I mean, a little bit confusing. So much details, confusing. 3 minute chart, I think details are just right for scalping. 5 minute chart and 10 minute chart. And this also looks pretty freaking bullish right here. 5 minute chart, this pattern, squeeze pattern, this right here alone. Now, what was I even doing? That's smart. Ask people who aren't here. Okay, so I was looking, so I went from 1 minute right here. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use a 3 minute because this looks confusing. So this is 1 minute, that's what it looks like. I'm going to 3 minute. I'm gonna use the 3 minutes. So let me see. Let me try to read the bottoms off this. So I'd say this is 1, like I was trying to say earlier on the 1 minute, but it was kind of confusing. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, it came a bit lower, double bottom, but it's the opposite. It's a lower low, but that's still on a bigger chart. This would be 1, 2, 3. Like, let me show you this 3 minute chart. This looks like 4. Actually, that is 4 actually. And I forgot 4 is common now. 4 is common. So you gotta remember what the trends look like, what the past recent trends look like. So here's 1, 2. Remember, just based off the bottom, you see this dip down right here is a dip. That's how I choose this as 1. Also this dip right here, it's a big candlestick, but still it looks about right. It's pretty symmetric, it's pretty parallel. See, it's pretty you know, it's pretty on point looking like. Okay, anyway, 1, 2, 3. So if I wasn't paying attention, if I forgot, I'd have bought right here and then it came down. If I forgot it goes to 4, I'd have bought right here and it came down. I'd have been kind of panicking like, oh, should I sell, should I hold? I'd have probably sold most like right here. If I bought calls right here and then it falls down more, I'd be like, oh, I'd have been like, oh yeah, I was right, yes. And then it goes up, I'm like, oh no, I missed out. It happens so much. That's why I like paper trading. You paper trade most of the time and then take real trades when you see something special, you know? Okay, anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the squeeze, little micro intraday squeeze came straight down. I kind of hope this is gonna happen, to be honest. Like very soon, the very top. I hope it's gonna squeeze down. I hope it's gonna drop to like I hope it's gonna drop to like 420 in one day. Right here, that's what I'm hoping. I'm gonna make a lot of money if it does, which in reality this would probably drop to like 426 or 425. But anyway, so this could be happening, at least I'm hoping. So anyway, so off off track. Okay, so if I look at this 1, 2, and 3, would have bought here, but double bottom right here, I would have added right here, and it would have went up. So I'd have bought based off 3. It came back down too. In a sense, that's 4, right? 1, 2. I'm ignoring this because it's a big drop down, big little, well, gap down, little intraday, big move. So I'm not gonna, because like I said, I don't like considering these because sometimes they count, sometimes they don't. When it comes to reading trends, it just throws you off pretty much. It throws me off anyway. It throws me off. So 1, 2, 3. Really, this would be number 3 right here, but I'd have probably bought here. So 3. Oh, went up. Like I said, I like to sell most before the resistance. As you see right here, resistance before the resistance. I like marking these. Well, typically I'll mark, you see this little bitty angle, this like right angle. I'd probably mark this right here. I'm gonna do it right now. So like whenever I see this, I'd mark this as a resistance. So what is it? 429.67. Remember, you can see it up here. You can see it up there. Let's put it there. 429.67. All right. I'm gonna make it darker. So resistance, choose color right here. I made it darker. I went to more. I chose darker. So, and you see, it's pretty much on point. So I like marking, like right before it drops hard, I like marking that support as a resistance, which as you can see is right there. You can see it better on a 1 minute chart. Let me see. Well, a little bit. So it's a support right before it dropped. Also like marking back here too. Well, let me see. Let me make sure. More like right here. That's more of a squeeze. So 429.2. Okay, so I marked it. I put it as a line. The style is as a bat, whatever that's called. Okay, so if I go to 3 minute chart, oh, what do you know? Right here, it was a resistance. And I swear, I mean, like I said, I like marking these. I'm just gonna say I didn't know it'd be right here, and I didn't know this would be right there. I'm just saying, because you know I edited the video and whatnot, so you never know. I could be lying, but I'm just saying, nah, it's typically like that. Make that go away. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, resistance. I'd sell before this right here. I'd probably sell right here. I bought down here, and if I held it, I'd probably sell right here. If I bought down here and held it, I'd sell right here before the resistance. You know, I'd probably sold most profit right here. I kept like 30%, 20% for a day trade maybe, and sold, if not everything, a little bit right here. Oh, what do you know? It's being effective. It's looking effective, at least within the trend. See, freaking big wick, it passed the big wicks. They passed resistance, and they also go under support too. You see, went right past it. That tricks algos, whatever. See, the wicks went past resistance. Same as, that's why I don't like, that's why when I make a support, I like, you know, I'd mark this right here, not this. I wouldn't mark 428.86. I'd mark this right here because these big wicks, they go past, you know, they go past the support or resistance a lot. Okay, and back to zooming out. Got off track a little bit. Okay, so if I zoom out, so this looks parallel, this right here, and this right here. But like I said, it went past the resistance right here. Like this is the real resistance right here. This is just extra. If you had the nuts to hold, that's extra, you know. High risk, high reward. So I would have sold right here if I did the analysis to get this resistance, but then it went past it. Okay, so it's coming down. That actually can be some evidence it's gonna fall. That can be some evidence because my top resistance was like 432, 433, and it went to 434. So like right here, it went past and it could fall. So just saying, it tricks you. Depends how. That's just an example of how it can get higher. It can get higher above the resistance or lower and trick you. Like it can get higher. You'd be like, oh well, I guess it's not bearish, and then it ends up falling. You know, that's just an example because this right here is my long-term resistance around 443, 442, 443, 442. Like let me show which one was it. It's this one. Well, this got, oh, it's a different chart. I need the 1 day or 4 hour maybe. Crap. Anyway, actually, I'm gonna show it, I guess. Do I even need this up? Yeah, I want it up. Okay, see, this is long-term analysis. That's how I got these lines. I know it's very messy, but I pick them out. I pick out which ones I want to pay attention to, and this one has definitely been one of them right here. The 1 day chart's actually better, but still, as you can see up here, so this could still get to like 436. Like I said, 436, 437. It just depends how long it takes. So it got to this resistance, which is one of my main resistance levels, which like I said, anyway, so yeah, if it passes this 436, that's still a resistance level. Also 434 is the top also. I don't know, it gets confusing. All right. See, the 1 day chart's more accurate for this trend. As you see, the red dotted, hit it, came down, hit it again, came down, hit it, passed it, came down a little bit, short squeezed. So yeah, this was a very big resist. Like I said, I was gonna short it. I planned on shorting at 428 for like 3 months. 428, 429, or like 428, 428.7. And I bought some puts and I got clapped, buddy. I got clapped. So potentially the top. You see this chat? But also 436 is reality too, but this can be the top. And that's not necessarily, it could be a huge wick like this right here. It could be a big wick going all the way to 436, you know? Depends how bullish it is. Okay, anyway, I'm babbling on. Okay, so I marked this resistance levels. The resistance levels was effective right here. It was effective right here, at least, you know, for day trades. Came down. This still above support from here. And what do you know? 1, 2, well, hold on. It's more like 1, 2, 3. I was gonna say right here, it's number 2, but that doesn't make sense with that explanation. So 1, 2, 3, that's more exceptional. As you see, it's more on point, it's more parallel. And squeeze. So ironically, it's at 1, 2, and 3. And also on a support, and let's see how good that support is. Let me go back more actually. Okay, 7, 1, 10, 21 a.m. Oops. Okay, so this support goes all the way back to, so I'd definitely mark this if I was trading, day trading. But anyway, this support right here, it's above this right here, which is a plus, and also right above right here, which this is getting confusing because getting confusing to explain it, to show everything. I'm trying to show everything. So if this is 1, yeah, well, I'm not gonna count that 1 because the big wick, 1, 2, and 3, then it came down for a squeeze. See, after right here it came down for a squeeze, new trend. It even popped right there higher past this resistance right here. It popped right here past, so came down. What wasn't the point? Oh yeah, right here. Okay, right above this right here. I'm gonna mark this actually. Big wick, I don't want to mark the big wick. I don't want to mark the big wick. It's between this and this, 61 and 67. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I like this right here, 428.72, because personally, actually 1, 2, 3 spike, 1, 2, 3. So this is the real top right here. So okay, this is where it gets confusing. 428.61. The bottom's right here, 1, 2, 3 spiked, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 428.61 is official. I like that because it's not the very top, it's not that ridiculous wick, but it's right below it. It makes sense. It's within, it's reasonable. 428.61. Okay, marked it. 428.61. Let me zoom out. Pretty sure it's pretty close. I kind of saw it. Yeah, at least on this support. Not really, it's higher. So this is more back here. Either way, it's a support. I'm just trying to find out. I'm trying to show why, you know? Like typically I have everything marked, but I haven't been day trading at least past like week or something. Actually, yeah, I have. It's just a different chart. Which one was it? Okay, it was, I think this. No, it's not it. Yeah, this is it right here. So I marked this when I was day trading this week. So yeah, I marked it somehow. I don't know. I guess off the double bottom. I like this one better because I've been studying the trends today, showing people, making this video pretty much. I like this right here because the very bottom and the higher one, either this 428.78 right there or this right here. I like to mark, which right here would make more sense, but I'd probably mark this right here. Well, it depends on the 1 minute chart. Depends on the 1 minute chart. What is it? 7-1, 7:45 a.m. 7-1, 7:45 a.m. So the very bottom, this is the low. Sodom marked. Wait, is this the low? 428.67, 428 double bottom. So yeah, confusing because I see this such a spike and this a double bottom. 428.73. Okay, marked this 428.73. I looked at a 1 minute, go back to a 3 minute. I'm hunching so hard, it's unreal. 23, it's right below it still. I'm not sure why I marked this the other day, but I did, and it was effective. I saw something. Went slightly below it though, but like I said, it happens. That went slightly above it. Okay, anyway, I'll probably delete this. Way too much time. Okay, and I'm looking at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, which this could be 4. It makes more sense zoomed out. I was just looking at it. That's why I said you could zoom out. You could see trends easier. You could just read them better, you know? So 1, well, I hate when I lose it. That's not 1. This has to be 1 right here. 2, this is 3, and 4. So this is just random. I'm not gonna count that. This is just a random spike. It'll count later, but not within this. Like if I saw this, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd have made a move. And let's see, it would have been a decent scalp from here to here. Well, that's kind of a trash scalp, not gonna lie. Decent, probably right here, theta burn. So probably just be like 10% profit right here, 10, 15%. Okay, delete that, I think. Okay, so this is the trends. What was this for 28? Yeah, so this, pretty sure this is the trend. It's the big support. So I'm gonna read the trends within here. I'm gonna put this line just to let me know to read, to not go past that. Oh, my back, my freaking back. Okay, I'm gonna go to a 5 minute chart. It's right here, yeah. So typically the past trends, the past resistance and supports, they still count. Random spike throws me off. Okay, screw the 5 minute. I'm sure you can see the trends, right? I don't feel like pointing those out. I'd rather look at smaller ones, but you can see the bigger day trade trends. Like I'm gonna say 1, 2, questionable, 3, spike, 1, 2. This is questionable because it's too high. You know, if it was like right here, maybe if it was around this support, yeah, that'd be 3, and it still spiked like low key, but it came down. It was a crappy open if you bought calls. But so 1, 2, not counting this, is not low enough. 3, it's more proper. Let me show. You see, they're more close together. So 3, spike, as you see. And let me start back here. 1, 2. Oh, there's nothing. So let me start here. 1, I mean double bottom, and it's, well, a support, not really double bottom, but a support. Yeah, strange pattern just because it's spike, but it's a support, and right on a support right here too. I was talking about this support right here. Okay, so 1, 2, is this came down? So 1, 2, is this 3? 1, let me just draw this. So yeah, I guess it came down a little bit more, yeah, that can count. Yeah, so 1, 2, and 3, big spike, and also a smaller trend. If I zoom in to this trend right here, this pattern, whatever you want to call it, it's a trend really. It's a new trend really. It's a new trend. Yep. It got past 429, so it's a new trend. So pretty much right here after this, that right there was kind of an indicator that it was gonna get higher, because it was a random spike and it got so much higher than at least my long-term resistance for 29.95. So right here, you know, testing support, came up, passed it again, past 429, which that itself, passing 429, that itself to me was bullish. It'd be bullish, at least for day trades, not necessarily long term. I actually had some day trades. I took like 200% profit on some day trades right here. I think I have it up, I don't know. Anyway, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 smaller trends. 1, 2, is this 3? This is more like 1. I'm not gonna count this right here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. 1, let me just draw. Like I said, this is what I just did earlier. I've got brain damage. Okay, anyway, so right here, let me look at this. It's like a 1. It's like 1, 2. Nah, not really. I'm just trying to show how 3 is powerful. It's very powerful within the stock market. If I had a smaller chart, like a 3-minute chart, I probably see it better. But right here also, it's pretty good. 1, 2, 3. 1, not considering the candle, this counting this right here. 1, like not considering the big wick, just counting this right here, this support. It's like I said, I don't like considering the big wicks, at least initially. I don't like considering it until I see something. But right here, I don't see anything, you know, like I don't like considering the big wicks until the trend has formed, the pattern has formed, then I can see it's actually valid. Sometimes the big wicks, they're not valid. Sometimes they're just a waste of support lines or resistance lines, at least for a couple days or weeks. Anyway, I'm actually marked this. Okay, what is this? 430.11. Sure, I'll mark that. It's above this, so yeah, 430.11. If I zoom out, see if it's effective. 7/1/21. Oh crap! Like I see the time. See if it's effective. 7/1/21, 2:47 p.m. So it's like right here. I mean, somewhat, kinda. I mean, it could be effective if it comes down. Like not really. It kinda is. I mean, just because it's a support, but it's not very strong support right now, at least according to the trends. I mean, obviously it's short squeeze, but I'm just saying, like if these came closer down to it, it'd be stronger. It'd be a stronger support, but they're kind of high. Like these are too high, so nah, not really. I'm gonna keep it there though. Well, I'm gonna delete that. I don't like that. It could be more effective later, but I don't know. I got a feeling I'd rather mark something up here. Anyway, 1, 2, 3. I think this is what I initially wanted to see. 1, 2, 3. Little squeeze, but a double bottom. Oh, a straight up double bottom right here. 430.38, 430.38. Those are very bullish. And what do you know? Just saying. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, and 3, because the red candlesticks. So I'm gonna consider that 1, 2, and 3. What do you know? Squeezed up. I think this would probably be a good support just because it's a random red candlestick. I should really look at a smaller chart. This is a 5-minute chart. I want to mark it though. Okay, 7 to 11:10 a.m. I'm gonna go to a smaller chart now. I'm gonna go to a smaller chart because yeah, like I showed earlier, you can see more trends on a smaller chart. So that's why 11:10 a.m. So it's right here, down here, 11:10. So this would be, I want to mark this as a support. So this is very bottom. Let's say 3-minute chart. I'm gonna go to a 1-minute chart. Well, yeah, I'll take a look at the 1-minute chart. So far, I do like 432.34 because it has a double bottom right here. So if this comes back down from the top, that can be very, very bullish. 432.34. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it. I'm actually market special too. 432.34. When I say market special, I like putting this as a squeeze color for me. Like when I put this color, if it comes down to it from a resistance, I take a bigger position pretty much. Or if I don't take a bigger position, I hold it longer. Like I'll leave more, like I'll leave everything. I'll put a little bit of money and leave everything. Or I'll put a lot more money and I'll scalp, you know, and I'll leave like 20-30% instead of like 10%. I might even leave like 50%. I'm just saying, this color to me, it's a special move. That's what it is for me. So you can do that too. You could pick a color you like on a support where you see something special. Like I'll probably take a real money trade on this. It just depends what it looks like. It depends what the pattern and trend looks like as it's forming, as it's falling, whatever. Okay. So yeah, so I'm looking at this. If this falls down to here, at least it'll be a lot. I'm gonna put a lot for like a day trade probably. I'll take most profit before this right here. So this will be resistance pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that right now. I'm gonna mark this as a resistance. Whoa, hold on. So this could be resistance. Like if I want to be safe, if it bounced here, I take most profit before right here, before 432.65. But that double bottom, it's something that stands out to me. So like I said, big wick, don't like it. I think I want to mark this 433.12. I could mark this back here. This would be more responsible for resistance to take more profit, but this can, I might mark them both. Yeah, I'm gonna mark them both. Maybe even all three of them. Okay, so I'm looking at it. I'm gonna look at a 1 minute chart. That was my foot, by the way. It sounded like a fart. Or was it? Squeeze, came down. I'm not gonna count this. I'm gonna look at this resistance. That would have been wrong on my behalf. Well, actually no, it turned to a support. It's right here, squeezed. Okay, a little bit confusing. I'd rather mark the 443 or 433.33. I'm gonna mark that. I'm gonna take this extended off because it's getting annoying. So I like that back there. And like I said, I like marking before it falls. So I'm gonna mark this as it would have been a resistance, but now it's, well, pretty much a resistance and a support potential. Let me look at both sides. Oh, double 433.43, same thing, 43. Yeah, definitely gonna mark this. Like I said, when there's symmetry between patterns or numbers, it's after a while when you look at trends and the price action, I mean, it stands out. To me, it stands out, so I'm gonna mark it. To me, it stands out, so I'm gonna mark it. To me, it stands out, so I'm gonna mark it. 433.43. So I'm gonna make it red just because it was a resistance. It was a all-time high resistance. Typically, I do this before, like I do this as live. I do this live as the market's open, but I haven't been trading, like I said, or I haven't been, pretty much been working on YouTube, so I have not been actively trading as much. Even though my videos are trash. 433.43. I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker and a little bit darker. Pause. Yeah, that sounded crazy. All-time high. Wait, what is 433? Plus 433, I mentioned it earlier as a big resistance that I've been expecting for, you know, a while. If it wasn't 428 or 429. If it got past 429, this was my resistance. I might, okay. I hate how, big market resistance. Okay, I might make that 4 just to let me know what's up. Oh crap, I forgot about this. Gotta take that off. Okay, that was a resistance initially, passed it, so that would indicate it's gonna get higher, which it did. Then it came down for a support. Zoom out. It's a whole new trend, man. If I consider this right here, yeah, it's at 3. Oh crap, it's at 3. As you see, 1, 2, and 3. You know, I never used to do this, but I might actually start doing, like, I never used to do this, but, I mean, why not start doing it? Like, well, what's wrong with me? It's so much easier. I'm self-taught, so yeah, I make things harder on myself, but things can be easier. I hate learning things from people because it's boring, at least most things. So 3, 1, 2, 3. So that can be that alone. Oh crap. So like I said, that is sketchy, but like it can go to 4. Remember, it can go to 4. So right now it's at 3. And if I go down lower, it's a 1 minute chart. Let me go to a 5 minute chart. Let me see if anything else is back here. No, that got passed. I guess that could be 3. As you see, 1. Honestly, I'm slow. I did not catch that. Okay, now I see it. So 1, 2, and 3 came down, squeezed, came down, hit the support, squeezed, new trend. Now that looks like 2 now. On a 5 minute chart, it looks like 2 instead of 3. But it's still valid because the wick is so freaking high. It doesn't really count. Like I said, I don't count wicks all the time. You can't really see it, but it looked like this. It looked like that post up here at the very top. It was on the trend, so there's the wick. So yeah, like I said, so that's 3. That is 3. Oh crap, buddy. Oh crap, buddy. Okay, so I'm getting distracted. Back to 1 minute chart. I'm gonna look at the 1 minute chart. Oh crap. So in a sense, this can also be 3. This question is it coming up? Is it coming up to 4? Because this big ol' this crazy spikes, like I said, sometimes it's not valid. In my book, sometimes it's not. When it comes to marking resistance levels or support levels, at least for the short term, it's not very valid. So as you see, 1, 2, 3. So 1, I believe 2 is right here, and 3, and also 1. Let me see. Oh, that potentially failed, but you know, there's been the double bottom. Well, not really a double bottom. So 1, 2. This is more of 3, and it came down. It came down a bit too low. So that could be bearish. That could be very bearish. Because typically if it drops, and plus that was a support too, that was pretty important support. Yeah, right on it. It fell a little bit below it. That pattern just, which this is no big deal. It fell a little bit below it, but the pattern, it doesn't make sense. I mean, to be bullish, at least for the short term. So like I said, hopefully it comes down. Hopefully it drops like a rock to like 420. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. At least for me. Be able to pay extra bills ahead of time or some shit. Okay. Oh, but this is also very well until this happened. But I was gonna say this right here was very, very bullish. Just look right here, 1 right on support, 1, 2. This got a little bit below, but 3 right here. But it came lower. This is okay. I could see it squeezing. All I know is it's gonna be a huge move. It's gonna be huge within the next few, like within like the same market day. Like today is Saturday. Whenever the market's open, if it's open Monday, I don't even know. I mean, July 4th is on Sunday, so yeah, it should be open, right? So yeah, Monday or Tuesday, it's gonna be freaking crazy, man. Freaking crazy. It's pretty good for YOLO hedges. Like I said, well, I'm not gonna get into it because yeah, but this can go to like 415, 420, potentially a safe correction support. Like 415, 420, those are like pullback support levels, but a correction, a big correction support, well, at least a correction, not necessarily big, but a correction support would be like above 380. Above 380. So a big correction support would be above 380. A big correction support, I cannot talk, but yeah, so this can potentially drop to like 380, really like 390, 395, or it can short squeeze way past 436. I think I mentioned it earlier on some trend I saw. Wherever it is, yeah, hopefully you remember, hopefully people got this far in the video, if I even put this part. Dang. Okay. Oh crap. 433.16, 433.18, 433.16. I'm gonna mark for 433.16. I just saw something, and this is a 1 minute chart, so it's gotta be very possible. This is special. I'm a market special. The color is special. OMG. Also want to mark this to 433.18. I'm gonna just duplicate it. I'm lazy. Right click it, duplicate, activate. I'm gonna look to my right, 433.18. Okay, let me make sure. Nope, 17. I'm gonna put this just to indicate that's not the bottom. It can be, but it can go lower. Oh, buddy. That sounds so whack. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh. But it should have took off though. It should have been higher than this at least. It should have bounced right here. That is very bullish. 4 on the support. 4. Let me look what this, okay, what is this? It was 16 and 18. 16 and 18. What is that's 20. Well, it's not on point, but it's on trend. It's on support. It's on trend. So it's 20. I'm gonna say 18. This is 20. Okay, so what's this right here? 18. Oh, that's good. 18, slightly below. Double bottom right here, head and shoulders, little micro head and shoulders, double bottom. And 18, that's why I squeeze so freaking hard. Okay, so anyway, 18, it's got to 22. Is it lower right here? 21, double bottom again. Double bottom right there, kind of strange. Should have squeezed on the other side, but sometimes it's the opposite. So 18, 20, 21, and this right here is 28, which it can still, you know, get to like pretty much if this stays above 18, I mean, it's gonna probably squeeze just because I don't know, man. But all I know is this pattern is, it's a beauty. This is a special pattern. That's all I'm saying. What's the very bottom? I want to mark one of these supports. I'm trying to see double bottom. Ow, holy moly. Okay, I need to look at the intraday trends. As this can tell, this can let me know something similar here, but that's a double bottom right here. 431.63. I think 61 right here. Yeah, 61. I brought up the 3 minute chart. to, you know, try to see easier trends. 1, 2, 3, squeeze, see? Oh, 4. I'm gonna leave that 1, 2, 3, well, yeah, 3 and 4. If not 5, what in the world? Now that is rare. Although this is a 3-minute chart. Let me look on a bigger chart. 10-minute chart. Yeah, it does look so beautiful on a 10-minute chart. But still, intraday, that's why I squeeze so freaking hard. Actually, I need to, okay, I'm gonna edit this to accuracy. Double bottom, what do you know? 2.15s. Well, I could have swore, is that a 15? Yeah, 15 right here and 15 right here. 428, 15, okay. What just happened? Oops. Control Z to correct yourself. I discovered that I could do that like 2 years within learning how to trade. It'd have been very helpful if I knew that I could just press Control Z to correct myself. Would have saved many mistakes that drove me crazy that I could not figure out. Would have saved me from many mistakes, from many stress levels actually. Mistakes are they're gonna happen. You know what? I'm gonna just erase this crap. I'm gonna redo it. Man, I don't even remember what it looked like. It's on a 3-minute chart. Like I said, mistakes are gonna happen. Okay. Yes, found it. So right here and right here, 428.15. I think that was it. Yeah, 428.15. And I'm gonna say this right here, 437.7. Is it? I'll find out. 428.15. Pretty sure that's it. I was about to change. I'm not gonna change that. I can't. And right here, I like 437.7. Yeah, it's between 77 and 75. I'm gonna say 77 because, like I said, the big wicks, they can be trickery. Okay, 437.7, 7221. Yeah, okay. Well, how about the time? 6:57 p.m. Oh, I'm become so hunchback. What happened? 7:12 a.m. Oh, 7:12 a.m. Okay, well, I'm tripping. 7:12. Okay, so this is the official trend line. 1, 2, let me zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holy moly. I mean, that's pretty much why I squeeze so freaking hard. Look at this. See that squeeze? No wonder. So now the question is, how much higher is it gonna go? Is it gonna pass 436, 437? Because if it is, it can take the F off. For example, this could be us right here. It can squeeze higher, then drop, then take the F off. Or this could be us right here. Or this could be us right here. We could be at the very bottom. Maybe get a little bit lower, a couple dollars maybe. Then take the F off. Oh, buddy. So yeah, so this can be us. It's squeezed. It could be dropping, or it could drop a little bit. We could be right here. It could be squeezing and taking, yeah, the F off. Interesting. If it goes below this, I say it's gonna drop. Well, this is the very bottom for a reason, right? But right here would be sketchy. 433, 433.06, 433.03. Oh, it's a 1-minute chart. Oh, what do you know? Did not notice that. Okay, time to mark these. 427, gotta zoom in. 427.8. The top right here is 95, something 95. 429.95. As you can see right there, it was showing 427.28. Oh, 8. 427.8 and 429.95. 95, yeah. I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna let it stand out. So that's that right there. On the trend line, it's right on trend, looks like. Yep, right on trend. It's a big wick, but the trend is up there. Okay, I'm kind of lost. Okay, right here. Also on trend. So I do, instead of 95, I'm gonna put 93. 429.93. Yeah, just because the big wick right here. And I'm gonna also change 3:03 a.m. So 3:03 instead of 3:06, 3:03. Just gotta make sure. I'm gonna make this brighter. Yeah, I like that. Holy moly. So it can get a bit higher, especially if this takes long. If this drops for a couple days, like I'm hoping, this can get to like realistically, yeah, like 436. It can get past 437, and then that'd be good for bulls. And this could even rocket where it's at. This can still rocket. It's coming up on an important support. Okay, so all I was saying has to stay above, I say stay above 12, 433.12, double bottom. If it came to 433.12, that would rock it. Well, it's still stronger up here, ain't it? Okay, 433.12. I mean, it would already rock it where it's at. I mean, this support line right here. Okay, 433.12, 433.12. Okay, 433.12. I'm gonna take off this extension. Yeah, that's gonna be solid. I'm gonna change these up because 433.12 is the bottom for me. Okay, that's better. I need to make these thinner, like 2. That's 2. That is 3. Make it 2. And this is probably 2. That's also 3. All right, so could bounce on this line. Basically, if it gets under here, I mean, that'd be sketchy, very sketchy for a crazy squeeze, it can still get higher. But I mean, I don't know about squeezing crazy. Sure, yeah, there's a support right here, but that's a big wick. That's a big wick, and this is also a big wick. So those can be trickery, those can be fake, those can be just manipulation. Not manipulation, but those can, big wicks typically go under support or over resistance. So I'm just not gonna count it personally. If it drops below this, it'll probably bounce here just to trick people. It'll probably bounce, test resistance. If there's a resistance, I'd say right here, 433.67. Okay, set the resistance. I'm gonna change the color. I should change to something funky just to catch my eye. I guess white. I don't keep much white trend lines. Sounds kind of racist. What? It's too long? Dang, that sucks. Okay, gotta shorten it up. Okay, gotta fit it. See if I put more. I can't. It's too big. Name's too big right here, so I gotta squeeze it together. Resistance if bounce above 433.12. I wish I could fit safe. Safe resistance. Safe to take a lot of profit. Yeah, it looks about right. I'm gonna make it red. Okay, so this got downgraded to not a big resistance. This is a small resistance. That's why I did that. Actually, it's still kind of important. This is very top. It's at 433. That's a pretty big resistance around. Right above 433 is pretty big resistance. Pretty big resistance. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Leave it at that. I cannot make my mind. I'm gonna just do this. There, it's official. These pass. I like this too. 433.49. So I put a couple days. Like I put a couple days right here away just to make sure the line stays straight, because if it's within the same day, if you put within the same day, the begin and end point, it could be crooked. Like it wouldn't be straight pretty much. So I just put a couple days just to ensure. Okay, so that's what's looking like right now. I really gotta turn extensions off. Save as default, yeah. You know, I don't know. That could be too simple. Like you know how much people are doing this? I bet they put the line like, oh, it's going higher, it's going higher, yeah. That could be a trick. Yeah, I'm gonna also, let me see, 427.8. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. The trend line, duplicate it. I'm gonna edit properties on one of them. Well, first of all, I gotta zoom in. Okay, so one I'm gonna keep right here. And I'm gonna put the other right here. So I'm gonna see edit properties, trendline 14. That's a duplicate. And what is this? 6:30, 3:33 p.m. Dang, that kind of sucks. It might get crooked. Ironically, this one was AM. It's 3 a.m. This is 3 p.m. 3:33, 3:06, 428.79. Okay, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'll put orange. I'll make this one orange. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I know it's cringe. Yeah, buddy. It's just I don't know, a Freudian slip or something. I don't know. Just comes out subconsciously. I'll make this solid also. What in the world? That looks messed up. What happened? Oh, okay. I didn't put 6:30. I put 7:30. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay, I'm confused. Control Z. Wow, it's taking longer than I thought. That would be a shortcut. Apparently not. I thought duplicating would be a shortcut, but it's not. At least not right now. Okay, it's freaking time. Gotta put 18. Is that military time? Watch it still be messed up. What in the world, man? Is it? No. You know what? I'm gonna just erase it. I'm not sure what's going on. It's wasted a bunch of time. Delete. So much lines, getting a bit confusing. Okay, I'm kind of lost because the extended, it's not that. Okay, finally, that took forever. I kept messing up. Okay, so mark that. Let me zoom out. Oh, so I guess it could turn to support. Yeah, on point so far. New trend support. Yep, new trend support. Yep, here's the flag. The squeeze. Let me zoom out just to look again. So this is where it's testing. So it went below it, so no big deal. Up here, this is where the squeeze began. Came back down, squeeze. This is where it began right here. And what do you know? It right on it. Because that's where it formed a flag, a little intraday flag. Let me go to 1 minute chart. Okay, what time is this? 9:12 a.m. Okay. The 1 minute chart's a bit different, but still same thing. It's still a support right before the squeeze. That's strange. So right here, okay, yeah, it's still support right before squeeze. Right here, squeeze. Got a little below, no big deal. It's a big wick, so it's not a big deal. Because the big wicks, I mean, you know, they don't always count. Right here, it did in a sense. Right on it too, also ironically. I mean, I hate how the 1 minute and 3 minute charts are different, like the trend line support, but that's just what it is, man. Let me see this again. Yeah, it is different, but still the same. It's still on a support right before the squeeze. So same old in a sense. Let me look at the pattern. Yep, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that also contributes to the squeeze, you know, those the 4 sideways double. It's 4 bottoms. There's not. I was about to call it double. I was about to call it double bottom. Those 4 bottoms right on trend. That's some more incentive for why it bounced so freaking hard. Especially this right here. So formed the flag, got below this, no big deal, it's pretty normal. Right below support, went up, tested resistance, failed, came back down, right on support. That's where pretty much officially this trend starts, this whole trend. That's where it started, obviously. So this has to count for something, right? But that seems too simple though, but whatever. I know what can and what can't. I should actually mark these on my long-term charts. I should probably mark these. Okay, I'm gonna put another long-term line, at least midterm, 427.8. Yes, this was 0.67. I gotta make sure. Yeah, 429.67. I see 6.8. Where's 6.7? Oh, I'm looking at the top. Okay, it's right there. I was looking at yellow. I was looking at the highs, not the lows. Yeah. Okay, 429.67. This can be the new red dotted, at least for now. Nah, it's too vague. Yeah, and brighter. So this new line's pretty. I mean, it's made a resistance, but it's kind of ugly. See right here. Yeah, I mean, it's a support in a sense and a resistance now. Now it's a resistance, but I don't really like it. 6, 7. I might mark this right here. I might change it to 429.85. Or why not just put another? Okay, change the time. All right, there's that. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that one. See, it was this right here. This one's solid red. Well, it's already solid, never mind. Yeah, you see, it goes right through, cuts right through. 1, 2, 3, came down. 1, 2, came down, squeezed. In a sense, this is 1, 2, 3 right here. 1, 2, and 3. Let me try to show better. See, it's parallel. So 1, 2, and 3. They came down for the squeeze support pretty much. So it started a new trend right here. The squeeze trend came down. So question is, since this came down right here after this resistance came down for support, should this have popped off right here? I'm talking about to get past 436. Really even past 430 right here. This could be the top, you know? I mean, low-key perma bear, low-key, but I mean... So yeah, I mean, could it be falling to like 415, 420? Or could it be support above, their correction support above 380, the correction support above 380? Because if it goes below 380, that could mean it's crashing. And that's if it crashes soon. And that's if it crashes big. Like that's if it falls from here big, like 380. It needs to get there very soon, within like maybe 2 months maybe. But if it drops for like 6 months, if it drops over 6 months, so if it drops over 6 months, it needs to go above 380, like probably like 395, which I know that doesn't make no sense, right? That'd be a very choppy, very crazy choppy market. So disregard that. Basically 380, 395, safe haven. Under 380, bad, probably like 350. Support will probably be like 360 really. Under there, 350, but I mean under 360, I don't know, probably like 335. I don't know, man. Well, 350s, I don't know. I'm gonna shut up.